I've been having some really good results with the Akai test tone with lots of plugins and stuff and lots of distortion and stuff like that. So I thought this evening we could like make some instrument racks, have some fun doing some sound design and experimenting a bit. This is for a sample pack that I'm making with Groovin in G. So I started making an instrument rack with the Akai test tone. It's just a sample of C#3, so in like a MIDI clip. It's here. Bit of C#, yeah, so there. And that's just, I think that just came with the Akai like preloaded. It's actually a really fun thing to just mess around, fun sample, because it's not perfect. It's got some kind of character in the waveform, idiosyncrasies, and it's got some artifacts as well. It sounds like it has anyway. But I've kind of put it in an instrument rack and detuned one of them slightly. I think I'm going to recreate this now, like making something like this. There's like refinements I want to add to it. You can hear it's got like a slight detune on it. And even something like that is pretty useful, isn't it? I'm going to recreate this now, and then there's the effects on it here. Just going to recreate these, have some fun with like resampling and stuff like that, automation, because it's actually really great when you have a phaser on it and you start messing around with the center frequency of the phaser. Stuff like that, you know. So I've got this here as a bit of a template. We'll start with the Akai. So I just have to have this saved in like a sampler, S950 test tone, and you can just hear what it's like here. You can hear it kind of phases or like wobbles a bit here. Pitch it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to group this, right? We're going to have the second one as like a second oscillator almost. First of all, we're going to map some controls. The shaper is particularly useful. So I'm going to map the shaper and the shaper amount. Then pitch envelope, because that's good for like when we come to like resample two notes played against one another. Stuff like this, kind of like resampling 808s or something where you've got two notes played together and you're using the distortion or the interference of two pitches very close together at low frequency to create pitch modulation, or like a wobble. Okay, so pitch envelope, attack, decay, sustain, and then velocity, transposition, and then the detune, and then I've got 4 macros left to put something else on. Let's map these quickly then. Shaper's great. I'm going to just have it on. Okay, cool. And we'll map the type and the amount. Just view them all. Pitch. So none of this is like set in stone. Whenever you're mapping macros, I would definitely encourage you to just experiment, make loads and loads of racks. I found that if I do this, what I'm doing now, if I just repeated this every day, I'd probably make micro refinements to what I was doing just habitually. Sustain. Did I map the decay there? Yep. Okay. And that's exactly what I did when I was learning how I like to chop breaks, was I just kind of chopped a different break every day. We're going to move over to the global section, to the envelope, the amplitude envelope, and we'll map attack, decay, sustain, and release. Okay, now we'll do the tuning. In fact, we want to leave this off, right, because we only want to detune the second one. So let's duplicate that now. I'm just going to bring these down a notch in volume -6, right, because we've got 2 of the same sample playing. All right, and then on this second one, I'm going to map transpose to macro 11 and detune there, right? So if we put this up an octave and drop this down a bit, it should give us a bit of a wobble. Nice. And if we pull up the shaper, perhaps, I'm going to just reduce the voices down to 1 on each thing as well. Let's pull the sustain down. I'm just going to compare it with the one that I made. That sounds great, doesn't it? So what's the difference? Because that sounds better to me. What have I done here that I haven't done in the other one? Right, so we've got pitch envelope on. It does, doesn't it? Doesn't that one sound better? Let's match the settings, 55, 75. So again, I can't always trust what I've done. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's better. That's better. Nice, okay. Got something there, haven't we? Okay, that sounded good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep all of the stuff. I'm going to keep the Akai in one thing and then make a separate like distortion unit that I can use on other things as well. It would be worth mapping the volume in the instrument rack with the samplers in. I reckon actually on the chain volumes, because we've got more resolution here than we have here. It's already at -12. This is sounding decent. Got quite a lot of pitch envelope on it here, but you'll get more attack with like a pitch envelope. You know what I love? I love amp. I think amp is like severely underrated for just distortion. That's great, isn't it? We'll make a rack first and then we'll go to town like performing with it. Yeah. What you find is like different pitches, they work differently, and I think it's worth recording at those pitches because they're not going to necessarily transpose in the same way if you just sample like a C and then put it up to an E flat or a D sharp here. Okay, right, so we'll just record this quickly. Just a few hits. Great. I wonder as well what they sound like just detuned. I want to hear what it sounds like when I drop this down now. Okay, not there. Yeah. That is sick, isn't it? I've got the Sound Toys reverb here. Pretty good. Pretty awesome, that is. So that's the flat that's been pitched down to an F below. And it makes such a difference on just like the amp types. Amp has just got so much in it. The tone shaping in it makes a huge difference. I'm going to stick to what I know or what I'm comfortable with for the time being. Right, so in phaser, I feel like I'm going to drop the notches to 1. I'm going to turn the amount to 0, open up the extended controls, the phase at 0 because I don't want it to be moving around the stereo field, up the feedback a bit, 50% or something, drop the spread. What I really want to do is map the center to a macro. I can just do it here, right? And right, now let's automate that. Yeah, okay, so that'll definitely be something that we map in this distortion rack. God, I mean, what else do you need, really? I suppose, cabinet would be nice for some interesting bass effects. I really like cabinet as well for, like, weird stuff like this, like far, and the mic on dynamic as well. Great for, like, making things sound like they've been run through a speaker. What I'm doing now is thinking about what I want to put into into an effect rack of some sort. I do like overdrive as well, and pedal is good too. And I imagine the pedal running into the amp as a guitar player. That's how I would imagine the signal chain. And pedal adds a lot of extra timbre too, and then we'll overdrive it afterwards, but maybe before the phaser. Fuzz is good, sub on as well. I've got a limiter on the master, it's worth saying. Alright, so we'll have these all as like things we can mess with. Saturator as well, maybe put that at the end. And a utility right at the end as well, yeah. Let's drop. I'm not observing gain staging here. Put that release up a bit. And now if we mess with the Detune, it should give it a different flavour. Maybe we'll drop the shaper amount down. Lovely. I'll try a different shaper. Sorry. Pull up that decay a bit. Hear a bit of a click at the end, that's fine. just distorted sine waves is really my cup of tea, rather than anything that's a bit too neuro stab-esque. But I think we could, veer into that territory with some filtering as well. Maybe a filter rack is like a second thing. Alright. Right, this is what we're going to work with. We're going to run out of controls though, aren't we? Okay, that's fine. This is like going to be an obnoxious distortion rack, I feel. So, pedal. We've got 16 knobs here. Let's map that to the last one, the gain, right? We'll drop that to -6 or something. I am weighing up what to map here, because like when you map one thing, you can't map another. Maybe the point is that we... Oh dear. Maybe I don't even bother doing it really. But this is a nice chain. It's a nice chain. Maybe we don't need to map any macros for the time being apart from the volume. We'll just keep it there. You can hear this makes such a difference, this like the filter in Overdrive. And we've got like the wobble going on. All right. I think I'm just going to start resampling in a sec, So the notes I'm playing really are F, A flat or G sharp, C, E flat or D sharp, and they're just kind of got the notes around the F minor scale, because moving those up or down in the sampler will kind of be totally fine for resampling and using them in tunes. Before I do this, like the logic behind the way I'm working at the moment, I think there's something about like finding your favorite effects chains and finding the things you like to put and what order you want to put them, and what things that the parameters that you change that give you the most kind of sound variety, or the variety of sounds. And this only comes with like just doing stuff like this quite a lot. So what I've done here is I've MIDI mapped the center frequency on the Phaser-Flanger. Now if I'm right, like the spread is just how narrow the center is, either up or down. So at 100% it's quite wide, and then at 0 it's quite a narrow. Try turning the feedback up. You can hear it kind of moving through, almost like some kind of spectral filter. That's cool. Right, we need to get resampling now. Okay, so we've just got this resampling channel. Just make sure we're both armed to record those. Right, I want a bit more sustain on this. Make that a bit bigger maybe on the overdrive. Have a bit of sustain on the amplitude envelope in sampler. Let's move the Detune up a bit, increase like the how quickly the modulation's happening. Maybe a bit quick there, -10. I'm going to drop this pitch sustain down a bit. We might get some different stuff happening here. It's a bit too like wobbly. Nice. Detune that. Pretty cool. What should we change now? Let's maybe overdrive a bit more and like drive it a bit more. Nice. Gonna increase that pitch decay here. Really sick. Okay, let's put, I want that decay up more, and I want the pitch envelope up a bit to like, I don't know, 10. Well, we got this shaper on as well. Let's have a look. Okay, Sine. I want it on hard. Right, let's do that here. Make the decay longer and the sustain go down. Yep, that's good. Alright, let's try adding some other stuff in. Maybe analog drive or analog clip. Maybe go for like bass shaper. I don't know. I haven't used these new modes. Sick. Do some more pitch envelope, maybe increase the hard amount and bring the sustain up somewhat, yeah, and mess around with the detune. I want to change the mode on the amp. That's pretty nice. So you can hear what's happening here on the pitch envelope. We'll stop it now. We'll just bring the release out a bit, right? What I also want to do is map the end. I'm going to map that to the same macro as sustain, because I want, when you let go of a MIDI note, I don't want it going up back to where it was at 0. You're going to have to do that here as well. Yep. Okay, cool. So you can hear it's like, it's not going woo, it's not like whipping up in pitch again. What else we got? Like, okay, so resampling these, yeah, we'll just carry on from here. I want to see what the phaser's doing. I've got an idea for what to do next, but let's go again. So rock was good. There's like a sweet spot on the phaser. Bring that feedback up a bit, yeah. Put that dry wet 100% on overdrive and bring up the tone. Drop dynamics. I'm just messing around now. Maybe drop that down a bit. It's like a chainsaw or something. Let's try some different stuff. Pull this overdrive right down. I kind of want it a bit thinner than that, if you know. A bit much. Bass is quite cool, I think. Maybe we'll introduce some more distortion. That's probably a bit more than I want to go for, really. Let's change. Bass shaper was cool. Maybe we could change the dry wet, drop that down a bit. Bass is nice. Let's pull the gain up on this a bit as well. We'll drop the distortion down back to 50%. My volume is a bit insane. I don't think that's a bad thing though, is it? Turn that overdrive off. Maybe bring that spread right down a bit on the phaser. Bring it up a bit. Can't really hear the difference, can you? Bring that feedback. Try it from here. Let's try this medium curve, right? Bit of a wibble. Can't tell if that's that's this. I think that's the two. Put them. Just messing with the detune knob now. Let's pull that decay out. Let's drop the pitch right down. Yeah. Okay, we've got some pretty tasty bass resample bass things here now. This chain is working really well. I don't think everything works well in series, if you know what I mean. It quickly just ends up becoming like chainsaw noise if you're not careful. Yeah, that's sick. Oh my god, that's great. That's almost better, isn't it? Oh, hang on, I've got the autofills on here. Okay. And the rate changes how quickly it's kind of moving up and down, yeah? Okay, feedback is going to give us like a width or something. That's almost like, you know, raw, isn't it? Lovely. That is amazing. I feel like one is good. This is great. What a shout. Let's bring in the LFO too. Awesome. Oh, I love this. This is like way more in that kind of neuro-y tip than I was getting with just like Wavetable last week. This is lovely. That's nice. That sounds awesome. With that Doppler. We got like the two LFOs kind of messing with it. Maybe if we had no pitch envelope on as well. Make the phase like 5%. Bring in some LFOs. Map like the rate of the frequency. The frequency of the LFO rate on the auto filter. I might just drop the depth down as well. Have it like a random or random with smooth up at high, and then map the rate here as well, and do the same thing. Maybe what's glider? It's similar to what you get when you just do random with smooth. Yeah. Right, let's resample some more, yeah. Boost, just blues again. These are, I love this. Maybe you could turn the amp off and just bring in some pedal. I like the mid at the top here. Let's just boost that a bit and maybe turn the gain up a bit on overdrive or something. Beautiful. I like that less. I think it worked better afterwards, didn't it? Let's switch something up here. Making the decay quite long on this pitch envelope, and put it up quite high, and we'll go for like soft on the shaper. Drive this overdrive a bit more. Enjoying this chain a lot. Okay, cool. So we got some, I feel like we've done some nice bass timbres there, don't you? So I'll put these in to process, along with some bass notes I made. I'm not going to chop them and save them now, but like the way I would do it is just, it's a painstaking process actually, but you have to, go in. I turn quantization off, right? And then, I go, any that are kind of worth shortlisting, I go and chop them up like that. And then I delete the ones that are rubbish. And then I have to go up and do all of this. It's a bit of a Zen-like task, You Command J to consolidate. And then if you right click, show in Finder, everyone that you've consolidated will be at the top. You can kind of see them in time and date order. And then you can just copy and paste them to wherever you want to your own sample pack.